guys, what's up, what's good, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Becoming That Girl with your girl Kinako Majalisa Simelane. And today I have my sister girl. I have literally my big sister, you guys, and I'm literally so happy. None other than that. What is it called? Do you say none other than what you say? But literally I have my baby girl Kayla Masilela, you guys. She has a blog. And yeah, you want to talk about your blog? You want to introduce yourself?
So much pressure. Okay, Kayla, and I have a blog called Time with Kayla, which talks about mental health and youth culture, but mostly it's just my personal experiences and what I've been through.
Yeah, and I literally, because I've known you for like forever, girl.
Yeah.
I think your mom used to change my diapers, so I've known you, and literally seeing you become that girl, and literally now you have your own blog and you're literally tackling so many difficult conversations. That makes me so proud. How did you get to that? Let me know. Let the people know, because I know.
Well, I was for the streets. But then there came a certain time I met a certain somebody, and he motivated me to be something, because it was just in the conversations of like, in order for us to spend money, we have to make money. So I guess every time those words would like come to my head, and I'd be like, okay, I need to get something off the ground and just be focused and find something to do. So that's how it started.
So now, how did you get to wanting to talk about mental health and all that and youth culture? How did that concept come to?
Well, surprisingly, before I started, I approached a few friends, and they were like, if they were to read something, they were to read about love, relationships, and whatever. I was like, okay, I might do that, because I was in a healthy relationship at that time. So I was like, I'm gonna do that, but also it needs to be more than that. It needs to cover my personal experiences, and for me to talk about love and what it means to me, I have to talk about why I value it that much.
And then that comes into your mental health.
Yeah.
That's really nice, girl. I'm proud. I'm proud of you, right? Like, I'm so proud. Literally, the first time I read the article, I was like, do I even know her? I'm sorry, is this another girl? And
Thing is, even the person that I was with, he was also that I'm with. He is battling with like mental issues. So for me, it was helping more people like him, because he was also one person who didn't want to talk about these things. Like when you talk, you just find a way to change the topic. So I just told myself, I'm gonna write the article, so he's gonna get help there without even talking to me if he's not ready.
oh my god, bro! Actually, I didn't know that was the reason. That is so sweet.
And I feel like this whole thing was a way for me to get to know him better, because in most of the articles I used to like literally interview him, like tell me about your worst childhood experiences and whatever, trauma, and I got to know his vulnerable side, so I revealed mine in order to make him comfortable. And now everybody is just like, just gives us hope, we want to keep fighting, you know, we also going through the same, so at least you're looking out for us, so we stand like I'm excited.
Can I ask a question? Like, do you ever, in your down moments, do you ever go back to your blog and read that?
No, actually, I was actually thinking about this thing, like, I'm a person who values mental health, and I realized that it is actually true. Like, you can't heal yourself, even if you're doctor, you can't. So I can't find help from these things. But instead, every time I'm going through something, that's like the most productive time where I can literally write that article in like 1 hour straight and then that. So it's like, I'm gonna take out my emotions on this.
Yeah, and I remember, and you've been posting lately about actually having to experience the pain and go through the pain.
You know, we've been
to
through
process the pain
you know
instead of running away from it.
You know that we've been through it. I mean, yeah. Thing is, I've always had this thing where people just look at me and think, your life is good, your life is fine, you know, I wish that I had your life and whatever. I guess I wanted to let people know that it's actually not like that. I'm actually having a hard time as much as you guys. You know, life is hard. It's hard to survive. It's hard to find work or whatever, or to find something to just focus your mind on. Yeah, I just wanted to let people know that. Okay.
Exactly. So, and then the whole thing about actually experiencing the pain and not running away from it, because that's something that you've written about, that you used to be this person that was just like and you're going to groove honey. So literally now you're literally advocating for actually feeling the hurt and allowing yourself to feel it so that you can get over it and get through it. Well, not over it, through it. Yeah.
Well, I guess I was at a dark time in my life and I just decided to shut everything out. I found a coping mechanism. Well, that's what I called it, but actually it wasn't, because I was being self-destructive. I did a lot of things that I regret, but you know, I can't take back the hands of time. So it's like, as much as I enjoyed that part of my life, it kind of made me realize that I can't run away from my problems. You can't overcome pain, you can't get rid of pain. The only way to get through it is to actually like
go through it.
Welcome the feelings, welcome the pain, and be like, you know what, I'm willing to just let everything in. If I need to cry, I do. Because I was one person that didn't cry. I still don't, unless it's like really bad, like really bad. But you know, I don't really cry. So I guess in this situations where I had to like pour my heart out in this article, I was like, I'm even. Actually, I was getting comments from people like, okay, you have to be personal, but not that personal. Right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, how am I supposed to make people feel better or relate if I'm not being personal?
Yeah.
Because as much as it's for you guys, but it's
also for my healing, my way of pouring it out. Yeah.
Exactly. And people like the vulnerability that I brought out. You also have to
girl, you know what? Let me tell you something. I am somebody who also does write about my feelings, and I can imagine you're writing about your feelings on a public platform. Girl, does it not get dark? Because like when I'm writing about the things that I'm feeling, the things that I've been through, it just really gets dark, and I'm just like, how does that happen? Does that happen even?
To me, it feels like I'm writing dear diary, and then so it's that easy. As much as I know that you're gonna read about it, I'm like, there's not that much sensitive stuff, but actually there is, because I wrote about a lot of personal experiences.
Girl, you're talking about
like from childhood traumas. I wrote about everything. Being a statistic of divorced parents, I wrote about everything. My failed relationships, you know, my current relationship and how it's been part of my healing. You know, I guess it's taking it one step at a time. It's not easy, but it's actually not that hard. Like after the first article, I felt like I was getting better time, because like, everybody's like, this is your even like when I write my latest article, I always tell you this. I'm like, yo, I think this is my first thing.
Literally every time you're like, girl, I think this one is the one. This one is literally the one.
So yeah, I always think like that. See, I put my heart out into this one, so I think we got it. And also, I just think I want people to understand that mental health is important. If you don't put it first, nobody's going to do that for you. If you're not at peace with yourself, you need to advocate self-care for yourself and love yourself enough to put yourself in situations where you're like, you know what, mental health first, my peace. If I'm not at peace with this situation, then I need to find a way to exit it. So I wanted people to be more to acknowledge the fact that it is okay to put myself first, to take the time out to deal with your mental health, to take the time to gather the thoughts, the traumas, and like, I'm ready to deal with it now. It's time. Because I felt like it was time. You can't be traumatized our entire life.
Sissy. But also another thing is that life will always throw these things at us.
Actually, somebody told me that petty.
That's the thing. Petty. And I guess it's a thing of putting your mental putting your mental health first and preparing your mind, I guess, for also how to process goal. Because obviously if we go through goal and we don't process it, goal will affect us. And it will affect literally every aspect of our lives until we actually sit down and deal with it.
I feel like if you're a person who's like, I'm not gonna entertain this pain, I'm gonna just when the copy mechanism, the time it comes, it's gonna come.
It's gonna literally come down on your brain.
You are gonna feel it. Like, trust me, I know. Like, when it came, there was a time where I was like, you know what, I need to come back to church. And my sister was like, just go back to church because you've been hurt because of a boy. I'm like, bro, life is more than that. Like, there's so much that is coming up because it's the pain from this failed relationship, the pain from my childhood, you know,
like it's all
the abandonments, all the disappointments. We just be like, you know what, it's fine.
It's fine.
But now I realize that it's not. It's okay for me to be like, nah, I'm not okay. I went back to church. I remember the first time when I went back to church, like, you know, like there's always like this section where you have to sing like the worship songs, like the deep ones.
Yeah, well,
I cried. I literally cried. But then, like, the one thing that I love though is that in church is the one place where you can cry without even thinking, what's the other person
gonna say?
Yeah. So even after church, I wasn't really embarrassed about it. I
cried.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
So yeah, and also the one thing that you've been doing is working on your relationship with God. Obviously, you're saying that when shit crashed, you were like, wait, where's God at? Literally, where is he? And how has that been? How do you come to that decision? And how has it been discovering God for yourself? Because you are a pastor's kid, and obviously, are you not a pastor's kid?
I am, but not everybody needs to know that.
Okay,
but I don't want to be labeled
as a pastor, please. Anyways, so obviously you've known God from your parents' perspective. So how was that process of you going back to God as Tando, not as your parents' daughter, as the pastor's kid?
It was actually tough because my mom is like an intense Christian, like everything. She's like, talk to God. And every time when I prayed, I felt like it got worse. So what's the point? So I got to the point where I'm not gonna pray anymore. I'm just gonna leave this whole thing. If I have to drink, if I have to group, and whatever. And then that dark time came, and I was like, I can't do this on my own. So I started going back, but nothing was really showing me the prayer is working. But now it's like every time I pray about something, it's I easily get I don't know if I can call it like a reply from God or something. But if I pray, something happens and it shows that this is the
He's listening
that I prayed about. So I guess when you pray about something and then it happens, you are like, I'm gonna do it again. But this time I'm not gonna do it because I need something. I'm not gonna do it because I'm going through something, but just to be grateful for the life, you know. Because it's really not easy. I mean, there was a time where you could just be able to, you know what, if I slit my wrist this time, like it's over. But every time where I'm like, you know what, this whole prayer thing is not for me. I just listen to my mom, listening to gospel music, pray, because my mom prays so loud, like every day. Like my mom is one person who's like pray, and at that time I didn't understand it because like, why are you praying? Because your prayers aren't getting answered, you're still broke. I didn't understand it, so I was like, are you praying for money?
Oh,
what are you praying for? Because we're still broke. Hey bro, like, funnily enough, my brother still thinks the same way. Like, I'm not gonna pray, meaning I'm just, God is God for you guys. I mean, I'm not gonna entertain it because I'm still broke. So. But seeing my mom just continue like doing it all the time, even if I feel like there's no progress. It's like I'm gonna try it for myself and just see
how. And it's been working for you.
It's really been working. Like I'm at peace. Like there was, I don't know what happened. I think it was family problems, but it's barely gender related things for me anymore because I'm done with that. Like at this point, I realized there is no use of crying over a man. Like when we live in the desert without water, so there's no need for me to cry about it or like not eat or all those things. So it's like so that was happening. Like I think I was like in a dark place. I think it was a few weeks ago or something. And then I prayed about it, and then I was like, I'm gonna meditate. I used to play this guided meditation things where I'm like, I'm powerful, I'm great, I'm okay, and all that. But I also prayed. So I told myself that every day when I'm gonna wake up in the morning, I'm gonna feel the sense of I'm at peace. I'm attracting positive energy, and it worked because every day, even if I feel that my heart is heavy, but I'm gonna wake up with a smile because I know that great things are coming.
And literally great things are. Because she is literally, what are you hosting your podcast? You're starting your podcast. It's called, what's it called? Not Just Petty?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, Not Just Petty is literally my blog branching because some people don't necessarily like to read. So I just thought, let me move it in an aspect where everybody can be like, I'm gonna listen to it, I'm gonna take the time to listen to it and like read out from myself. Because since not a lot of people like to read, I feel like they're missing out on that healing part. So I wanted to like broaden the whole thing and just make people be part of it. For us to be something better. For us to be, we need stable mental health, guys. Because the things you are posting, the things you are doing, it shows mentally you are not okay.
No, literally, hey. I literally tell myself so many times that I need a therapist. I go, literally when you're seeing things happen and how I deal with them now, it's just like, girl, is this safe? Like, is this safe though? So you see, I need to be in a space where I am able to, I don't know, code. Because obviously, taking care of your mental health doesn't mean that you're gonna stop feeling these things. You will feel them. It's just that you need to, I guess, manage them better. Is that a word? Or deal with them better and process them better.
I wouldn't put it like that. I guess I would call it being more accepting and willing to go through that, because pain is part of life. We all going to go through pain one way or another. So you need to be welcoming of these feelings. I'm not gonna shut them out. I'm gonna welcome them and I'm gonna deal with it. I'm bigger than this. I'm a conquer this. I'm a cool as shit. I do this. Yeah. So you have to view it like that. You see, pain is part of life. You can't necessarily run away from it. By saying you need to have a stable mental health, we are not saying you're not gonna feel pain. Actually, you are gonna get tested a lot more, because now it is that one thing that you focused on. But for better mental health, you have to be the person who's like, you have to find your triggers.
Know your triggers.
Things that make you feel out of place, things that make you feel nervous or panicking or feeling some type of way about yourself, that I'm not worth it. What can I do to change myself? Maybe I need to change myself in order to fit into that space where you don't. With mental health, you have to be a person who's like, I need to find a safe space where I can be myself.
I don't need to change myself.
Exactly.
That's really good. That was really good. I guess also on the part about welcoming the feeling, I guess we have this thing where obviously we feel, right? And we have this thing where we want to choose what we feel. Like, we only want to feel happiness. And the thing is, you can't feel the happiness. You can't get to the good parts without the bad parts. And if it was always good, you wouldn't recognize the good. Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we also need to get to a point where we really are welcoming. And as you were saying, when these things obviously recognize our triggers and all that, and actually find out, Lelo is a young trigger, like, what is it? Because I'm in a relationship, right? And there's things that are gonna happen, and I'm gonna, like, small things, and I'm gonna literally react to them in such a big way, and you'll literally be like, where is this coming from? And I need to sit down and actually realize, where is this coming from? And I'm going to realize it's something that it comes from something deeper. Maybe it's coming from abandonment. When you do this little act, it triggers that abandonment that I got back then, you know?
Yeah.
When you do this little act, it makes me feel like I'm not a priority, maybe, which is something that I felt. It's not. I see one now, but it's just me. It's all those things, and I guess I literally needed to sit down and actually realize, guys, why am I like this? Like, why is this? Why do I act like? Why am I triggered by this? You know. And then I guess you just realize, like, there's so much that I haven't dealt with. So much trauma.
Well, actually, I feel like we are different. Because I can be a person who's like, I know my triggers. I know that you make me feel some type of way about myself, that maybe I'm not enough, that maybe I need to do better or something. But in knowing that, I'm not going to say we need to be apart for me to find myself and just be that person. I'm going to continue in this toxic environment where I'm constantly being triggered and being better than myself.
Yeah.
And like, I think, okay, I always tell people that I have anger issues. Don't mess with me. I will bring out everything and just take out the whole thing on you. And I remember telling this person, actually today, I'm like, there's something that you did to me. Because I've changed. I'm not this calm person. Like, if something happens, I snap. I react, like, quickly. But now I'm like, let me take a chill pill. What are you saying? I'm not that person. If I have to give you a clap, I'm gonna do it right now. Don't play me like that. But now I'm not that. I don't know if it's the whole mental health thing, but I feel like it's kind of making me weak.
Really?
Maybe it's putting myself first, and just because I recently found out that for mental health, you have to be the person who's willing to put people in their place. But how you put people in the place shouldn't mess with your progress, with your healing, with your journey. Because maybe you blasted me on the net, right, and just talked about my life and how shitty, whatever. But I have to be the bigger person and be like, I'm not gonna skip to your level. I'm gonna put you in your place, but not the same way that you did, so that it doesn't mess with
your
what
progress.
I stand for, my progress, and whatever image that I have for myself. So you have to be the person that I'm gonna put you in your place, but I'm not gonna be on social media like, you were whole, you did this no. Be the bigger person. Just let it slide. You don't have to attend every argument for mental health. You don't. Because if somebody is just gonna come up to your face and just start talking shit about you, you have to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna entertain this. I'm not attending this argument. And it's actually better for peace. Like, cause we can't be constantly in fights and just this disagreements or whatever. I feel some type of way about what you did to me, bitch.
Girl, don't be swearing on my podcast. No, but I get you though. I get you. I get you. Literally, because I think I also saw that somewhere would say you can still protect yourself from the people, but do it in a way, obviously, because words are very sharp, and if I'm angry now and I snap, I'm gonna do a lot of damage, especially if it's relationships. Even like with our parents, with the siblings, with our partners. Like, if there's something that's gonna happen and I'm gonna be so mad, I'm gonna snap and I'm literally gonna, want to put you in your place now and say all these things. it's going
People
to
know me.
exactly.
But she don't mess with me.
And the thing is, later on, right, when you're still hurting because I literally.
But
put
now
on
it
these
is
words.
actually gonna come back to you, Guti.
I literally did that, and
do things out of proportion. I wasn't supposed to say all those things, and it's gonna start affecting you because like you are going to keep like thinking about I shouldn't have done that.
I'm literally gonna.
And now you have to live in the shame that
Mm-hmm.
I acted out of character,
Mm-hmm.
which is why you have to be at peace, like and just
You
think
literally
about
come back
think
and you're
before
like,
you act.
it's so hard. It is so hard, especially if you're triggering me.
I actually saw this thing where like this person keeps coming and just like triggering this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, I'm sweet. So now everyone, like, when they come to me and like with all these things, like, why you sweet? You want me to react? I'm so much trying
To literally create this
be
calm
this
soul.
calm, crisp person, like, and just stand by my brand. But you keep provoking us, please. Like when I do something about it, I'm gonna be good at the bird person. Which is not
Exactly.
nice.
Yeah. But I am really, really happy to see literally you become the woman that you're becoming. And it literally makes me so happy. It really does. Because you are literally my sister. You are my older sister. And I've always loved that. Like having an older sister because I'm a firstborn. And having you as my older sister has literally always helped. Girl! Let me tell you, she helped me through my first breakup.
It was more than a breakup, it was embarrassment.
But we're not but we're not there. You've literally always been my sister, and now you literally get to be a bigger sister to a lot more people through your blog and your podcast and all that, and I'm really proud of that.
But what I love most about our relationship is that as much as you're my younger sister, we can talk about everything.
We can.
I don't have to I'm gonna keep this stuff on the side because you're younger than me.
Yeah, we can talk, and I think also even our conversations help
Yeah.
a lot. Like if we're going through stuff, and it really help.
You're gonna be okay.
We are gonna be okay. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much. That is the end of this episode. I really hope you do go check out Time with Kayla, the blog, and the podcast, Not Just Petty. And be sure to follow her on her social media.
Yeah.
What's it?
Facebook, it's Masilela Kayla, and then Instagram, it's Kayla_M_8.
So please be sure to check her out and also check me and the podcast on all other platforms. You will find the links down below in the bio. Shut up. Bye.